gonna record this. All right, everybody. Hello, everybody in internet land. Today we got our this Sunday, August the 25th. We're gonna start our preparation for Greece. Now, listen. I don't know if you realize this. We are 36 days from going to Greece. Okay. Now, I've been checking on weather in Greece. Okay, and here's where we're at. It looks like when we get to Greece, in the mornings and in the evenings, you can expect high 50s fluctuating to low to mid 60s. Then you can expect that during the day, it's going to get up to warmest. It looks like, of course, this all just trends, right? It's going to be different when we get there. You know, that would be my luck. But basically, when we get there, you can expect low to mid 70s as a high. Beautiful. Y'all, I'm so hot with everything I do. I'm just so hot. I'm ready to get somewhere. I feel like my fat has made my body built for colder weather, not hot weather. Okay, and I'm excited to get to it. I'm just excited to get there. So we're there. So now remember, because of that, our final payments are due by September the 1st. Now, if you've got some that you want to send, understand you can call them and pay online. Of course, if they're not in the office, that can be a little trouble. I always suggest write a check, have a carbon copy, especially if you bring it to the church. We'll give you a copy of it or a receipt or something, and we'll mail it into them. They always get our mail. They always take care of us. I like to send that way, but again, you can do whatever you'd like to do. But just know by September 1st, and I would just say this, before September 1st, have it paid. Okay, so if it's after September 1st, it's a $100 admin fee. What that just means is get your money in on time or you pay more money. That's what that comes down to meaning. Now, this afternoon, I want to talk to us about a few logistics of the trip and how we can be on the same page in preparation. Now, some of you have been to all of our meetings and some of you have been only able to catch a couple. Our meetings that we've had on this are all like archived on our Facebook feed. So if you need to go back and watch some of that, I highly suggest that. Matter of fact, if you got a question, I can always refer back to you. Just go, hey, meeting number 1, we covered that. I can help give you the information. But also, like the meetings are designed, they're giving you information as you kind of need it. Here, and this is kind of where we're at right now. So I've got a little document over here. I've already talked about this a little bit, just kind of while we came in, internet people. Brother Wendell has a binder, and inside this binder, we keep an alphabetized list, a picture of everybody's passport. We are not trying to steal your identity. We don't care about your identity. Just understand that. What we do want to do is we want to be prepared in the case of somebody losing a passport, us needing to go to the embassy. So before you leave tonight, I need you to check and see if you have one. I also have a list of people that Maranatha does not have passport information on, and we need to kind of get that going so that, you know, and if you doubt any of that, just see me. I've got all that information, and we can go from there. So we also need to make sure our passports are current. Okay, so at this point, everybody should have by now looked at your passport. Now, here's the weird thing about United States passports. Some countries will not let us inside their borders if our passport is within 6 months of expiring. So look at your passport. And if it is if it expires anytime in 2024, then we may need to take a quick run to New Orleans and get you a new one. You can do that. You can expedite the process, although at this point you just go to New Orleans and get you a new one. Okay, stand in line at the DMV and just go ahead and get it done. Also, has anybody gotten a new passport within the last, say, 3 or 4 months? I did. And I'm just going to tell you that it looks like it's from the future. I don't know if you've gotten it, but they've changed it where the holograms are different. You know how you kind of have that, the part where your picture's on it, it's kind of that glossy paper instead of paper. Now it's a hard plastic shell, and it's got multiple pictures of you. Have you got one? Have you got one? Let me look at it. Let me look at it and see.
I think so.
Okay, yeah, that's one of the new ones. So one of the things you got going here is you have this. It's like your picture page now is it's a hard plastic. You got a picture of yourself here and here and here, and then you got one. Look, they really want your ID. They got some stuff on the back. But if you'll notice, your picture here it looks like pixels are all over your face. But if you look closely, and some of you would need like a microscope, I know how your eyes are. If you looked at it like that, you would find all of your information that's here is digitized over your face. And so that one picture would be like a QR code for them. They could scan that and like the embassy could, and they got you. All right, Billy, right here's your stuff back. So I just, hey, listen, does that matter? No, I just think it's really neat. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's make sure our passports are all in order. Now, one of the things you're going to get tonight is we are going to give you a handy dandy little pack like this, and this is a passport holder. Okay, and so inside this passport holder, here's what you got. You got 2 luggage tags, put your name on. You got a passport holder that kind of goes around your neck, you know, when you're going through the airport, you keep your stuff. You can put ink pens here if you want to take some notes. It's got a little spot, a little zipper here if you want to put any other kind of knickknacks or things in. It's just do what? Money, yeah. Now, here's what I'll say about this. This is neat and it's fun. I'm not gonna wear this. Okay, so you are welcome to it. Matter of fact, this is gonna be good. But it's just a spot for you to put your stuff. What you'll find is a lot of Americans. You don't see a whole lot of other countries do that. But a lot of Americans, man, they like this. You'll see them walking around, and they'll walk around different countries, and they'll be bebopping through there, and they got all their stuff. And look, they look like tourists, okay? And so they walk by, and the locals are going, yeah, they got a bunch of Americans here. And so you do have that. Whenever we show up with our luggage, of course, you do want your name on your luggage. We're also I'm gonna buy the brightest flagging tape that I can, and we're gonna tie that to our handles of our luggage. That way, when our luggage comes off the little conveyor belt to pick up, we're gonna have some guys that their only job is to be looking for that flagging tape, and every bag that's got one, they're gonna pull them off. And so, especially our ladies can just go up and just look through. Oh, that's my bag. We're not heaving and slipping a disc while we're trying to get luggage. So we do want to have a few pieces of things that kind of signify these are ours. So you'll get one of those. They're also Maranatha's also sent you a little backpack. Typically it's got, just a couple little packets, just a little shoulder bag, maybe to wear on the bus each day. You may want to pack inside your bag. You may want to pack some nabs, some crackers, some whatever during the day, some protein bars. I don't know what you want, but when you get on the bus in the morning, you may want to throw you a couple of pieces of fruit. You'll be at a buffet breakfast. Grab you an orange, grab you an apple, stick in the bag. You snack during the day, and you just kind of keep it with you. We'll get on the bus. You can put your stuff up in the top and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get you one of these before you leave, and you just start going that way. Couple of things, and it's remarkable to me what is important to people. Years ago I'd have laughed at this, but now I'm like, this is the most important thing I'm talking about. All right. Let's talk about how to drink coffee in Greece. Yeah. Like there would have been a time when I would have been like old people, they need their coffee. And now I'm like, what's the coffee situation? All right. So here's what you need to know. I went on the website for our hotels. Okay. Now, the difficult part about that was it's all in Greek, literally, because we're going to Greece, right? So I've got like a window open here for the hotel, and I've got a window open here for Google Translate, and I'm hiding and I'm copying and pasting, and I'm trying to like decipher their things. And so I went through, so every room will have a tea and a coffee maker, and they're going to have tea and coffee in the room. Now, what I can tell you is their coffee is going to be very much like the way coffee is in Israel if you've traveled with me before. If you have not traveled with me before to another part of the world, I just need to let you know, like your community coffee breakfast blend Basically, that stuff's hot water anyway, okay? It's brown hot water, and it tastes like it. But it's not going to be like that over there. Listen, you go to stir it, and your spoon's going to stick up in you. And listen, I'm in for that. If you don't like it, give me yours, okay? That's the way I like my coffee. So, our closest kin to that is going to be espresso. Their coffee comes in smaller cups and more potent doses. And, I may drink 5 or 6 of them at a time, but that's just kind of the way it is. So here's what I'd recommend to you. I'd recommend to you that if you are one that you like your coffee a certain way, either just decide that for 8 days you are going to be adventurous, or you need to pack something. Now, I'm serious about that. I'm serious about, like, if you need to go to Walmart and buy you some instant community coffee packets or something. The room is, you can heat your water, you can dump your coffee in there. You can make do with that if that's what you want. You can take packets of Splenda, because you're not going to find packets of Splenda over there, okay? You put that in a little Ziploc bag, stick it in your bag, and just understand when you wake up in the morning, that you're going to kind of build your own. I would encourage you, we're going to go down to breakfast every day, and they're going to have the little machines. They'll make you a cappuccino. They'll make you an Americano. It's going to be good. Now, it's going to be stout, but it's so good. I love to go down there and first thing get a hot cappuccino. It's not like gas station cappuccino. It's good stuff. I mean, it really is. And so, coffee is going to be good, but it's going to be strong. And you need to know that. Now, again, there would have been a time where I'd just said, that's all I got. Let's just keep moving. But do you have any questions about coffee or tea over there? I really feel like this is something we need to settle now. I'll get more complaints on a trip. Like, we'll go to Israel and we'll spend all day like sailing on the Sea of Galilee, and I'll have one old man cranky because he didn't get a morning cup of coffee. And I'm like, you realize Jesus walked right there on that water. He said, yeah, but he didn't have Folgers, did he? And I'm like, no, he didn't. You're right. So that just know that's kind of, yeah.
Okay, is this a Keurig in the room? Is this put that little baggy thing in there in the room?
They had little hot pots in Israel. Is it like that?
It'll be kind of that, and I would imagine like a little Nespresso pot. Okay. So their pods are smaller pods. Their cups are tiny. And so if you have an espresso at the house or something, that's probably what they're going to end up with you. So I would say this, probably the best thing for everybody is you got a little hot pot to get water hot, right? If you will make an espresso in a little cup, and then put it in a bigger cup, your bigger coffee cup they give you, and then pour some hot water on top of it. That's, by the way, when you get an Americano, that's what that is. It's espresso with hot water on top of it. And so it takes that, and it's a shot of espresso, but it gives you more to drink from. Y'all may know all this already, but I'm just saying, when you go somewhere, if you would order an Americano somewhere, that's going to be the closest to what you're normally used to if you don't just drink bland hot water for your coffee. Okay? And some of you do, and listen, you can live a joyless life if you want to, but that's just kind of where we're at in life. Let's talk about food for a second, because that's the other thing. So about this time, people start thinking, man, I'm going to Greece. And then they start asking, hold on, what am I going to eat while I'm in Greece? Okay? So we're in a Mediterranean world, a Mediterranean diet. Okay, there's going to be lots of fish. There's going to be lots of like rice. There's going to be lots of fresh fruits. When they cook in oils, it's always going to be olive oil. And they're gonna make a lot of things. But understand too, they also understand who we are. So when you go through there, they're gonna have the local, when you, like for breakfast and things, they're gonna have what they would eat for breakfast. And it's gonna be great. There's gonna be a lot of yogurts with a lot of toppings and things like that for breakfast. But they're also gonna have like bacon, ham, and eggs, off to the side. they're gonna have that kind of stuff. A lot of like quiche casseroles and things. It's gonna be all of that because they know their target group is, we want bacon, eggs, and toast for breakfast, right? So you'll get oatmeal, you'll have things, you're gonna find something to eat. Now here's what I will warn you about. So the first time I went to Israel, I didn't really know what to expect, and I wasn't very adventurous, but I was gonna try to be on the trip. So I normally, for whatever meal I have, I wanna look at what do they have that I've never had before. And so I wanna eat odd things that I'm not gonna get back in Petal, okay? So that's kind of always my strategy. Well, the first time I did that, I noticed like the first 2 or 3 nights, I had the worst indigestion. And you know, that may not be an issue for you, but like I went, what's going on? It was, they're heavier on olive oil than I'm typically used to. Now, that's the one I like now. But so what I would say is, I don't think you would be unwise to get you a travel size bottle of Tums or Rolaids or a big one and just put in your bag for just in case. Matter of fact, a little care package of, everybody listen to me, bring some Tylenol, bring some allergy medicine, bring some Rolaids, bring some, I don't want to get in your business.
Tummy stuff.
Huh?
Tummy stuff.
Tummy stuff, but I'm more thinking, what's that Gold Bond?
Go Bond.
We're gonna be doing a lot of walking. Okay? Bring some Gold Bond. That way, as we're doing a lot of walking, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. And here's the thing. If you are uncomfortable, I don't want to know about it. All right? So just a small care package of these things, I think would be generally helpful to you. By the way, I want to just go ahead and say this now. We're 36 days out. If you are not walking, you got 36 days to go. Now here's what I can tell you again. If you can walk a mile if you can walk a mile in one go. Now look, right now you're thinking, I ain't walked in a long time, but I can do a mile. A mile is different than you remember maybe. Okay? I would suggest you go out in the neighborhood and you try a mile. Because listen, a mile is longer than you think it is. We are never at one time going to walk more than a mile, but we are going to walk more than 1 mile a day. We're traveling the streets. We're looking at scenes. We're going up to Blake. You're going to be walking more than many people walk. I need you to just say, look, I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life, but for the next 36 days, I'm going to get out in the neighborhood and I'm going to do at least 1 mile. That's going to help you know what kind of shoes are good for your feet. That's going to let you kind of know at least, hey, if I've got a mile in me, I'm going to be good to go. Okay? Here's what I don't need. I don't need you to get over there and you go, I haven't walked at all and I've made a big mistake. Now we're going to get you where you need to go. But I don't want you to be miserable. So please go for a walk. Okay? Please go for a walk. Now, the next piece of this, and a lot of this is just hodgepodge, right? So we talked luggage and things like that before. If you have questions about that kind of stuff, we can get to that afterwards. Or after our meeting, you can ask any question you want. I'll be happy to answer. But let's talk money for a second. So Greece is a civilized country. You can use your credit card, but you do need to check with your credit card people to make sure that they will allow their credit card to be used in Greece. So the difference is your Visa and your MasterCard are going to be great. The ones people typically have trouble with when they travel are things like, sometimes like Diners Club, if you got that, they'll get a little like, what are you doing? And Discover Card is not always. American Express is typically, kind of middle ground. It's kind of hit or miss on some things. If you call your company, and by the way, if you're going to travel, call your credit card company and put a travel advisory on your credit card. Because when you show up in Athens, Greece, and you buy something, they will go, that does not sound like Petal. And they might think that it's somebody else. And what I don't want you to do is get over there and you go, I didn't bring anything. I got my MasterCard, but they flagged it, and we're going to try to float you to the way home. Now we would probably do that, but I don't want to. So check with your credit card people and tell them. Also, know this: cash is always great, but Greece is part of the European Union. They do not accept American money. So I've done a lot of legwork on this. We are going to have to take however much spending money you want. We're going to have to get it converted into euros. Now, here's what you need to know about euros. You can get we have $1 bill, and then you can get a €1. But a €1 is a coin. It's not a bill, it's a coin. Okay? Others it's going to be paper money, but that's just kind of how euros function. Here's what you will find out locally. And if you've already found out different, please tell me. I'm kind of dying to get some answers on this. So I've talked to some banks, and some banks have done some research for me. They said because locally we do not get a demand for euros, they can order euros and then do that. They can, if you go to your bank and say, hey, I'm leaving, I want to get $200 and convert it to euros, and I want it in small bills. Okay, by the way, small bills. You don't want to get over there and you say, well, this costs €7, and you give them 20, and then they go, I don't have any change. All right. Part of this is, if you like to haggle, you need to go in knowing I'm gonna play the game, but I'm not gonna show them my full hand. Okay, which I recommend. That is the most fun you're gonna have. All right, I love it. That's my thing. What kind of deal can I get? I like it. In another life, I was a used car salesman. Maybe. But I like the art of that. I like the fun of it. But you want small bills because you want to give exact change. But now your bank is probably it's going to be more of a hassle for you to do that than it is going to be helpful, because your bank is going to charge you for converting all of that because they're charged for that. Your bank's not going to do that for free. Okay? Now, if you are great friends with your bank and you're like on the board of the bank, then you pull whatever strings you want to. I myself am not on the board of the bank, so I'm just going to do. So here's our options. When we get to New Orleans, we will have time in New Orleans to find currency exchange and to just do it in the airport. They're going to do it. Listen, that's all they do. There'll be a big booth that says currency exchange. Now, I go to New Orleans airport, a couple times a year. I've never seen their currency exchange booth. I know they have one because, you're an international airport, technically. But I've never seen it. So we may get there, here, and let me give you this caveat too. I've also never looked for it. I've never walked into the airport and gone, all right, I'm going to Texas. Let me get some euros. I've never done that. So I've never cared to pay attention to it. This is the only time I've ever, in Israel, we just give them American money, okay? But we are flying from New Orleans, we're flying to Washington, D.C. and Dulles. I can guarantee you this. We're going to find currency exchange in Dulles. In Dulles, we're going to fly to Vienna. You're going to find currency exchange in Vienna.
For sure.
Okay? So you are not going to find a place to exchange money. It's just a matter of you need to be ready. You need to have it in a little thing. You need to go, I want this in small bills. And, give them however much you want. Now, I can tell you this. Everybody wants to know, well, how much cash should I bring on a trip like this? I cannot answer that for you because you may live a lifestyle I don't live. So for me, I want a couple of $100 and be able to, because I want to be able to, if I want a knick-knack, get a knick-knack. And when it's time for lunch, I want to be able to pay for that. But I'm not going to be buying hundreds of dollars worth. We are not going to be buying hundreds of dollars of anything.
I live a different lifestyle.
How
it to me, would you?
Yeah, you need to hang closer with us this time,
Okay.
Lenny.
We are not.
So
We are not.
no. Also, for bigger purchases, use your credit card. We're gonna make sure that you go to places where it's safe for you to use a credit card. Our guide is going to make sure he's not going to take us to places that are shady or that have come back with fraudulent charges. If you're going to want a paper trail outside of cash for large purchases. If you're looking to buy a whole new diamond jewelry set, you want paper trail on that. You don't want just a cash. So, but I will tell you this: I would plan for, so you got lunches during the day, which are optional. So you're gonna have a big breakfast every day and a big dinner. We're gonna be on the move during the day, but our guide is always gonna stop us by a local spot to get some lunch. You can just sit there. You can have a snack. You can stay on the bus. You can come inside and get a Coke. It's fine. But if you want to try something local, and I like that, I would recommend. It's not going to cost you this. Some places are more expensive than others. It's not going to cost you more than $20 a meal. It's going to cost you anywhere from 10 to 15 on average. But I would rather you just kind of say, I want at least 20 euros per meal. That way, when one does cost 20, you're good. Okay, but it just comes back to how much you plan on spending. So, you may convert a couple of $100 worth of euros in, and then when we get back from the airport, you're going to want to convert that back to like real money. Okay, not that theirs isn't, but you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk travel details. So there is 36 of us that are traveling. Our first flight is going to be out of New Orleans, okay? And when we get to New Orleans, we're going to have to go through security. We'll have to do all of that. We're going to check our big bag luggage all the way through. When we're traveling, we are not going to ideally we give them our bag and we said, we will see you in Thessalonica. Okay? It's the easiest way to do that. Now, let me tell you how we're going to get there. We are going to find a church member who has a passenger endorsed CDL for us. We're going to get on our big church bus. We're going to leave from this parking lot and we're going to drive to New Orleans. They're going to drop us off. And then the day we land, they're going to be back and they're going to pick us up. We're going to throw all our luggage on the bus and we're going to come home. Now, you have an option. You can meet us in New Orleans. If you would like to meet us in New Orleans, as a matter of fact, Jenny and I will probably drive ourselves to New Orleans. We typically do that so that we get there before the bus gets there. So we go up to the ticket counter and I say, hey, I got 36 people coming with me. Can you open up these 2 lanes? We'll send them down these while you print them out. They're going to give you. And so I like to tell them, hey, we're coming in as a group. I like to prep them. So Wendell is going to probably get you on the bus and get there, and y'all will meet us in New Orleans because I don't want us to get there and they go, oh, well, we're short-handed. Well, no. If you're short-handed, I need you to call Jeff in from a smoke break and we got to get this rolling. So we just kind of will normally take care of that. Now, so we're going to ride the church bus. But if you are not going to ride the church bus, let me know because I don't want to leave without you. But just understand, I'm leaving on this trip. And so is the rest of the people that are here on time, Sandra. We going. And I would hate to send you postcards and say, you could have been here, but you weren't. So here, let me give you the rules, all right? And not the rules, but the parameters. Our flight is scheduled to leave at 12:34 p.m. from New Orleans. I have gotten a recent update to that flight is now moved up to leaving at 12:25. So they've moved it up 9 minutes. You say, what's the difference in 9 minutes? I don't know. All right. So, here's the other side of that is we're going to say round about 12:30 is when the flight's going to actually leave. But here's the rule of thumb. For international travel, you are supposed to be at the airport by kind of their policies 3 hours prior. Okay? The reason is because when you get through there, you've got to go through security checkpoints. There's a lot that goes on, okay? So if we're leaving, if we're flying out at 12:30, what time do we need to be there? 9:30. How long does it take us to get from this parking lot to the parking lot at the airport? 2 hours.
Ooh,
Which means
this is getting earlier and earlier.
it is. We will meet here by 7 a.m. and we will leave as quick as you get on the bus. Now, let me tell you a couple of ways we're going to facilitate this. Okay? You and I will meet up here on Sunday night, September the 30th. The night before we leave, we're going to meet up here. And we're going to do a couple of things. You're going to bring your big bag in here. We're going to roll it into the fellowship hall. We're going to put flagging tape on it. We're going to make sure your name is on it. We're going to make sure everything's good. Then here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get Wendell to stand off to the side with a scale. And he's going to weigh your bag.
I hope he doesn't do like the Bible school money.
the shaking knees and that. Yeah. So we're going to weigh your bag. You need to shoot for 35 pounds of luggage. Listen, some of you are thinking, well, the airline says 50. Let me give you some caveat. Some airlines say 50. When you fly out Continental says 50. If you're flying out of Vienna, now it's 45. If you're flying out and then you're making a switch to later, and let me find which flight, because we're coming in on some different flights. We're flying Lufthansa on the way back and hooking up with United Airlines out of Dulles to come back, and they're gonna be around 40. And so when I tell you 35, and by the way, you can pack 35 pounds worth and survive the trip. Now what's going to happen is when you shoot for 35, that means that when you end up buying all your grandkids a t-shirt on the way back, wouldn't that be funny?
I want to see that.
Yeah, I want to see some of us slipping into that child medium we got, And so here's what you're looking at things. You're going, I'm not buying anything. Yes, you will. You are.
Just not on
And you're going to get back to the airport, and you're going to go, oh God, that was more than I thought it was. And then we're going to start looking around and going, well, how do you have 2 or 3 pounds I can borrow in your bag?
It ain't fair unless she's putting stuff in everything.
Yeah. So here's the thing: 35 pounds when you come in. Now, we're gonna measure it. We're gonna weigh it. 35 pounds to get on. Now, here's what I need to talk to you about. We've talked about this before, but I need to reiterate it. We are going for 8 days. You need socks and drawers for 8 days. You can wear a pair of blue jeans 2 or 3 times. Some of you go, I would never. Well, this is a first time for everything. Yeah, you only got the one pair, you're good to go, man.
It only works for
That's
graduating.
it. So when you travel, understand this. Again, you're going to want to bring a light windbreaker on your trip anyway, with a hood in case you got some rain, maybe. Hey, there's nobody on this trip that's going to look at you and go, did you wear that 3 days ago? That's not going to happen. So what I'm saying is, you're not going to get so nasty that you cannot rewear some. Pack light, okay? Then pack some things you need. You know, some of y'all need a whole bag just for your toiletries. Let's be cautious and careful here. Okay. So also when you get onto a flight, you get a carry-on which needs to be a small carry-on that you put above you, okay? And you get a personal item, which is a purse or a backpack. Inside your backpack, listen, put a clean pair of socks and clean pair of underwear in it. Because if we get over there and something happens, remember, you got the insurance, right? We'll take you somewhere and get you some clothes, and insurance is going to pay for it. But I don't want you to, I want you to be able to get to the hotel and take a quick shower if you need to. So I don't want you to lose your luggage and be then just completely destitute. Okay? Pack a little something in your backpack. Your carry-on, I can tell you that some of y'all will carry, like you'll have a big bag that you're going to check. You'll have a little rolling bag, and that's fine. That's legal. You can do it. I'll just tell you this. I've flown enough to where if our seating is near the back of the plane, you're going to get about halfway through that flight, and that lady's going to come over the microphone and go, we are already full on our storage, so now we're going to check all of your bags. It will be at your destination. And then you go, well, what was the sense in that? They're checking it anyway. They're not going to check your backpack. So you do whatever you want to with luggage. Just know sometimes less is more, because you don't want to be miserable. You want to be convenient. All right? Just think, how do I want to travel? Now let's talk about what you wear when you travel. You do not want to get on that plane wearing brother, you look good, like you've been to Sunday morning church. But you're not going to fly in that, are you? Maybe. All right. So if you're not going to get on the plane wearing, I'm not going to fly overnight on a plane wearing a pair of blue jeans. I'm going to wear something that's got a little more breathiness to it, and I'm going to wear a comfortable thin t-shirt. Because I want to be comfortable on the flight, because I got to sleep on that flight. Remember, you're traveling across the world. So you don't want to be traveling in a way where you're going to be uncomfortable and stuffy, and that's not how you want to travel. If it is, God bless you, more power to you. Okay? But if not, just make sure, how can I be comfortable when I travel? Now, when we get home, our schedule right now has us landing in New Orleans at about 10:20 p.m. So it's a full day. So we'll be on the bus, because you got to go get your luggage. We'll be on the bus. I say we can be on the bus by 11.
Is that October the 10th?
October the 8th.
October the 8th.
So the day we fly, we're gonna spend kind of a full day there, because remember, we're gaining a bunch of hours on our way home. But we're gonna get back. We won't be back in Petal till like 1 a.m. That's just that. I can't get us home from New Orleans any faster than 2 hours. Okay. Use the plane to sleep. If you can. I cannot. I'm going to be miserable, and I'm going to land, and I'm not going to like any of you. But I'll love you, but I'm going to be miserable. Okay. So just do your best. If you need a Tylenol PM, get you a Tylenol PM and get you a good nap on the long flight. All right? Some of you are going to get on the flight, you are going to sit down, and they're going to be giving you that oxygen mask speech, and you're already going to be asleep. The rest of us are going to just be sitting there going, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. So just know that. Now, I do need to know if you are riding the bus or not riding. Really, I need to know if you're not riding the bus, because I need to know how much space we have. Now, a couple of things I need you to know is we're right here at the end. We've got a couple that's going with us, who are scheduled to go with us, where unforeseen circumstances, they're not going to be able to go. So here's what I got. I got 2 tickets to paradise. And I've got a very short window to turn those back in. But I don't really want to, because I don't like for us to drop this close. I like our numbers to be at a way where we're the big group and not the small group. That gets us in and out of places more efficiently. if you have anybody in your life that said, I wish I'd have known, I got 2 spots. If they can let me know in the next couple of days, I'm good to go. If not, it's fine. I'll turn them in. We'll be good. We'll be fine. But if we don't have to, then that would be preferable. Okay. So got 2 spots open, and willing to wheel and deal on that and get those spots taken care of, so it doesn't affect any of our. The bigger group we are, the nicer bus we get. And I like buses that have phone chargers in every seat and active Wi-Fi the whole time, so that you can, when you get to your hotel in Greece, they're gonna say, we have Wi-Fi. The same way to Hilton is gonna tell you, yeah, we have Wi-Fi, and then you find out, yeah, but you can't do anything with it. It barely works. So I like us to be a little bit bigger group, to where our Wi-Fi on the bus is great. That way, when you want to call family, you can FaceTime them, instead of having to buy an internet package at the hotel. You can buy it. It'll be like, $15 a day at a hotel. Buy their upgraded, actually good internet. But I want to have the good bus and have that on there, and that way you're good to go. Because you'll be touring while they're all, living life over here. So it'd be a good time to be able to call. Now, really, that's the end of my agenda. I'm gonna give everybody their stuff tonight before you leave. Let's take a couple of questions. Here's what I'm gonna do. Really, just a couple of questions, a couple of the most important ones, and then right afterwards, I'm gonna say, all right, if I don't have your passport, let's get a picture of it right now. And if you've got any questions that you hadn't had answered yet, stay around and let's fix them. So, what's your question?
What's the time difference?
That's a great question. I knew this.
Give me your phone and I'll look it up.
Okay. So look at
World clock.
world clock, Athens, Greece. That's a good question. I found this. I figured this out. I've just forgotten it. So good question. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, leave the car parked, right?
Yes. So yeah, that's a great question. So when we show up here and they drop us off, 8 hours. All right. So we're an 8 hour difference. Okay. So that's not bad at all, really. Okay, so when we show up here that morning, we have right outside here, we have a little building we call the shop. We're going to park right there by the shop, because fire station is across the street, police station is across the street. We also have a little parsonage here where we always have somebody there, which means our vehicles are well taken care of. The other thing is, and listen, when we bring our luggage up here that night, we're loading it on the bus that night.
And that is a Monday. The 30th is a Monday, not a Sunday. And y'all correct me. September 30th is a Monday, not a Sunday.
He's just talking about the Sunday night.
The night before.
We're going the night before. Okay.
2 nights before or Monday night?
No. The night before we leave. So October the 1st is a what? Tuesday? Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. I've been telling myself all the time it's Monday. Okay. So Monday night, thank you. Monday night, we'll be up here and we'll do a luggage check. We're gonna pack your big bags. So listen, in your big bags, don't put your medicine, don't put your CPAP machine. We're loading that on the bus so that we know we got it the next morning. We're not going, that way we're not here at 6:30. If we don't do that the night before, we're gonna have to get here an hour before we leave, because it takes that long to like Tetris the luggage in the back of the bus. So we do that the night before. That's a great question. So 8 hours difference, and you're exactly right. All right, what else? All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'd like us to pray and ask the Lord's blessing on this. If you got, hey listen, here's what I want from you. If I don't have your passport in here, I need a picture of it tonight. If you think, I got a couple of friends that love to go, at least let me know that you're going to talk to them, and I'll give the tickets back tomorrow. So I don't want to do that. If you got any other questions, stay around. Okay? All right, let me pray for you, and then we'll be ready to go. Father, we love you. Lord, we ask for your blessings on this trip. Glorify your name in all the earth. And Lord, would you help us to be in a position as pilgrims, on pilgrimage, to see where your word was sent to as it went to the nations. From Jerusalem to Judea to Samaria to the uttermost parts of the world, let us find where our heritage comes from as your word went forth and people came to know Christ. Father, when we see this journey, help us to take on the missionary spirit of that journey, where we know that wherever we go, we want to share the gospel of Jesus as well. Please, Lord, prepare us for what we're going to experience. We pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, everybody.